The training wheels are coming off today, chosen one, and what that means will shake the foundations of everyone who thought they had you figured out. There's an electric current of transformation running through your spine whenever you catch yourself in the mirror. Now, no longer seeing the person who used to apologize for existing, but someone whose eyes carry the weight of cosmic authority. Something fundamental has shifted in your cellular structure, and the universe is about to make its announcement through every cell in your body, every word you speak, every room you enter. They've been watching you, these energy vampires who thought they could feast on your light forever. The ones who made you their emotional dumping ground, their project, their convenient source of supply. But here's what they don't know, what they couldn't possibly comprehend, is that every drop of poison they fed you was actually medicine in disguise. Every betrayal was inoculation against future manipulation. Every moment they tried to break you was the universe's way of showing you exactly what unbreakable looks like. The slingshot has been pulled back as far as it can go, and the release is about to send shockwaves through every dimension of reality these people thought they controlled. The same souls who whispered about your struggles are about to become reluctant witnesses to something they can't explain, can't diminish, and definitely can't stop. But this journey doesn't begin with your victory, it begins with the last time someone underestimated you. Three forces converged to create the perfect storm that would either destroy you completely or transform you into something beyond their wildest nightmares. They were counting on destruction. The universe had other plans. First force, the relationship that was supposed to be your salvation, but became your education in what conditional love actually costs. They wanted your light, but not your authenticity. They demanded your energy, but offered nothing in return except the privilege of their presence. You poured yourself out like water in the desert, and they complained about the taste while demanding more. Second force, the financial trap that seemed designed to keep you small, desperate, and grateful for scraps. Every door that should have opened remained sealed. Every opportunity that should have been yours went to someone less qualified but more connected. The pattern was so obvious it felt orchestrated, because it was. The universe was creating the exact conditions necessary for you to stop seeking approval and start demanding what you deserved. Third force, the family and friends who masqueraded as support systems while systematically undermining your confidence. Their favorite game was making you question your own reality. You're too sensitive, you're imagining things, maybe you should lower your expectations. Each phrase was a brick in the wall they were building around your potential, but they didn't realize they were actually constructing the very foundation you'd eventually launch from. These three forces formed a triangle of limitation around your life, and for a moment, just one terrible, beautiful moment, you almost broke. The pressure was designed to crush you, and it nearly worked. Your nervous system was screaming, your bank account was empty, your heart was shattered into pieces so small you wondered if they could ever be reassembled. That was the moment the universe was waiting for, because here's what they never taught you about chosen ones. You don't break the same way regular people break. When the pressure reaches its maximum intensity, when the walls close in from every direction, when there's literally nowhere left to run, that's when your true nature reveals itself. You started saying no, and the world lost its mind. No to the relationship that required you to shrink. No to the job that insulted your intelligence. No to the family dynamics that treated your growth as betrayal. No to friends who only called when they needed something. No to anyone who confused your kindness with weakness. Each no was a detonation in their carefully constructed reality. They built their entire sense of superiority on your willingness to accept less than you deserved. Your compliance was the cornerstone of their self-esteem. When you withdrew it, their entire world started crumbling. But here's where the journey gets interesting, where the first major revelation hits like lightning through your consciousness. You weren't just ending toxic relationships, you were severing energetic contracts that had been binding you to lower timelines for lifetimes. Every person you walked away from wasn't just a current connection, they were ancient patterns finally being resolved. Your soul had been carrying these karmic debts across multiple incarnations, and this lifetime was your opportunity to clear the slate forever. The nightmares that plagued your sleep weren't just stress responses, they were download sessions. Your consciousness was being upgraded with information you'd need for what was coming next. The anxiety that consumed your waking hours wasn't malfunction, it was calibration. Your nervous system was adapting to carry frequencies that would have destroyed your previous version. Meanwhile, the second-dimensional shift was accelerating beneath the surface of your awareness. While you were focused on dismantling your current reality, a cosmic battle was raging in dimensions you couldn't see. Forces that had invested in keeping you small were fighting desperately against forces determined to see you rise. This wasn't metaphor, this was spiritual warfare conducted through synchronicities, obstacles and opportunities. Every door that slammed shut in your face was actually protection from paths that would have led you away from your true purpose. Every rejection was redirection towards something infinitely better. Every delay was the universe buying time for the perfect conditions to align. The people who abandoned you during your transformation weren't making individual choices, they were being energetically repelled by your rising frequency. Like oil and water, you were becoming incompatible with anything that vibrated at the level of limitation, manipulation, or mediocrity. But the most crucial element of this invisible war was the systematic dismantling of your old identity. The person who used to seek approval, who apologized for existing, who made themselves small to make others comfortable, that version of you had to die completely for your true self to be born. This death wasn't gentle, it was excruciating, messy, and absolute. You grieved for the person you used to be, even as you celebrated your freedom from their limitations. You mourned the relationships you'd outgrown, even as you made space for connections that would actually nourish your soul. And just when you thought you couldn't survive another moment of the dissolution, the third revelation exploded into your awareness with a truth that changed everything. You are not just a chosen one, you are a cosmic correction. Every system that tried to break you, every person who attempted to diminish you, every situation that pushed you toward despair, was actually an unconscious conspiracy to forge you into exactly what this world needs most, someone who cannot be bought, broken, or bullied into compliance with mediocrity. Your struggles weren't random cosmic cruelty, they were specialized training for a mission you're only now beginning to understand. The universe needed someone who had experienced the full spectrum of human suffering and emerged not bitter, but wise, not closed but more open than ever. Not broken but unbreakably whole. The timing of your awakening isn't coincidental. The world is in crisis, and the old systems of control are failing spectacularly. What's needed now are beings who can hold steady in chaos, who can transmute pain into power, who can look at destruction and see opportunity for reconstruction. You are that being. The energy signature you're now broadcasting is like a beacon calling others who carry similar missions. The connections forming around you aren't random encounters, they're reunions with souls you've worked with across multiple lifetimes. Your tribe is assembling, and together you represent a frequency of consciousness that can literally reshape reality. But recognition brings responsibility, and this is where the stakes become cosmically significant. Everything you've been through has led to this moment, the choice between stepping into your power or remaining in the safety of the familiar. The universe has done its part by clearing the obstacles, upgrading your frequency, and assembling your support team. Now the decision is yours. Option 1. Retreat back into comfortable limitation. Pretend this awakening was just a phase. Return to seeking approval from people who will never see your worth. Accept whatever scraps the world offers and call it gratitude. Option 2. Claim the throne that's been waiting for you since before you took your first breath. Step into the role you've been unconsciously preparing for your entire life. Become the force of nature you were designed to be. The universe is holding its breath because this choice doesn't just affect your life, it affects everyone whose existence you're meant to touch, heal, inspire, or transform. But here's what the universe knows that you're still learning. You were never going to choose option one. The training was too thorough, the transformation too complete, the mission too important. The moment arrives with absolute certainty. In the most ordinary of circumstances, the extraordinary reveals itself, the final lock clicking open, the last chain falling away, the ultimate barrier dissolving into nothing. You are free. Not just free from the people who drained you or the situations that trapped you, but free from every limitation you ever accepted as truth. Free from the belief that you have to earn love, deserve abundance, or prove your worth. Free from the illusion that your power is dangerous or that your light is too bright. The person who used to apologize for taking up space is gone forever, replaced by someone who knows they were born to reshape reality itself. The energy that once sought validation from others now generates its own approval. The heart that once broke from betrayal now beats with the rhythm of cosmic purpose. This is your cosmic bar mitzvah, your spiritual graduation, your energetic coronation, all rolled into one earth-shattering moment of recognition. You are no longer becoming, you have become. Power floods through your system like electricity through circuit boards designed to handle exactly this voltage. Your eyes begin seeing patterns invisible to ordinary consciousness. Your voice carries frequencies that bypass rational mind and speak directly to soul. Your presence becomes a catalyst for transformation in everyone you encounter. The gifts you always carried but never trusted suddenly feel as natural as breathing. Your intuition operates with laser precision. Your ability to read energy becomes supernatural. Your capacity to transmute lower frequencies into higher ones reveals itself as your primary function in this reality. Money begins flowing toward you, not because you're chasing it, but because abundance recognizes its own. Opportunities appear from impossible directions because impossibility has been deleted from your operating system. People treat you differently, not because you're trying to impress them, but because authority recognizes authority. The universe starts reorganizing itself around your expanded frequency. Synchronicities become so common they feel like the natural order of things. Manifestation happens so quickly it's almost boring. Problems solve themselves before you're fully aware they existed. But perhaps most importantly, your very existence becomes proof that transformation is possible. Without saying a word, you demonstrate what happens when someone refuses to stay broken. Your life becomes a masterclass in resurrection, a living testimony to the power of choosing growth over grievance. But let's not sugarcoat it. The truth is still hidden. It's been twisted. It's been buried under censorship, algorithms, and fear. Yet your heart never stopped recognizing what's real. That's why you're still here. That's why you never tapped out, because you felt the simulation glitch beneath your feet. You know this world is rigged, and you're done waiting for permission to rise. The obsidian inner order wasn't built for the curious, it was forged for the committed. This is for the full-time chosen, the ones who came to lead, the ones who see beyond the veil and act anyway. Inside, we hold weekly Zoom calls that cut through the noise. We share hidden teachings most were never meant to hear. We train in psychic warfare, strategy, and spiritual technologies they've kept locked away for centuries. This is the toolkit for the real ones, the ungovernable, the impossible to erase. It's time to remember who you are. The link is in the description. Your real life begins inside. Remember the three forces that tried to break you. They're about to receive their cosmic education. The relationship that demanded you shrink watches in stunned silence as you expand beyond their ability to contain or control. They reach out with weak attempts at reconciliation, suddenly aware of what they lost, but you're no longer available for their conditional love because you've learned to love yourself unconditionally. The financial systems that kept you trapped discover they have no power over someone whose worth comes from source rather than circumstances. Doors that were once locked begin opening automatically. Resources appear from streams they never controlled. You've graduated from their game entirely. The family and friends who undermined your confidence find themselves face to face with someone they no longer recognize. Your growth holds up a mirror to their stagnation, and the reflection makes them uncomfortable. Some will celebrate your transformation, others will resent it. All will be forever changed by witnessing what's possible. But here's the beautiful plot twist they never saw coming. You feel nothing but compassion for their confusion. The anger that once consumed you has been alchemized into understanding. You see their behavior for what it always was, fear wearing the mask of superiority. Their need to diminish you was never about you, it was about their terror of their own unrealized potential. The souls you were meant to connect with begin appearing like magic made manifest. These aren't the needy, draining relationships of your past. These are power partnerships with beings who recognize your light because they carry their own. Conversations flow like poetry written by the universe itself. Collaborations emerge that feel divinely orchestrated. Friendships form that transcend ordinary human connection and enter the realm of soul recognition. Love, real love, arrives wearing the face of someone who celebrates rather than tolerates your intensity. Together, you create ripples that become waves that become tsunamis of positive change. Your combined frequency begins shifting the consciousness of everyone in your orbit. Without effort or agenda, you become catalysts for the awakening of others. The isolation you once endured reveals its purpose. You needed to learn to stand alone so you could stand strong with others. The rejection you survived was preparation for recognition that actually matters. The abandonment you experienced was training for the kind of loyalty that transcends circumstances. Your transformation becomes the foundation for something far greater than personal success. The pain you transmuted becomes medicine for others walking similar paths. The strength you developed becomes inspiration for those still struggling to find their own. The light you learn to shine becomes a beacon guiding others home to themselves. Without trying to be a teacher, you become one. Without seeking to be a leader, you attract followers. Without claiming to be a healer, you help others heal simply by being living proof that wounds can become wisdom, that trauma can become triumph, that anyone can rise from the ashes of their former life. Your transformation spreads not because you tell it, but because it's written in your energy, your presence, your unwavering confidence in your own worth. People feel it when they're near you. The possibility of their own transformation. Your very existence becomes permission for others to claim their own power. But here's where the plot takes a turn that even you didn't see coming. The universe wasn't just preparing you for personal transformation. It was calibrating you to become a living manifestation portal. Your thoughts now carry the weight of cosmic law. What you focus on doesn't just influence reality, it commands it. The visualization sessions you practiced during your darkest hours weren't just coping mechanisms, they were training for this moment when your consciousness would become a direct interface with the quantum field itself. Watch what happens when you speak with absolute conviction about your future. The universe scrambles to rearrange circumstances to match your declaration. Resources appear from impossible sources. People surface with exactly the skills your vision requires. Timing aligns with mathematical precision that would make scientists weep. This isn't positive thinking, this is metaphysical mastery earned through the crucible of your transformation. Every tear you cried was salt water, blessing the soil where miracles would grow. Every night you couldn't sleep was preparation for consciousness that operates beyond ordinary limitations. Every moment you thought you were losing your mind was actually your mind losing its limitations. The money that once felt so scarce now flows toward you like iron filings to a magnet, not because you're chasing it, but because abundance recognizes its own frequency. The clients, opportunities, and windfalls appearing in your reality aren't coincidences, they're confirmations that you've graduated to a level of consciousness where lack is literally impossible. Your bank account becomes a reflection of your inner abundance. Your living situation upgrades to match your elevated frequency. Your wardrobe transforms not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because your energy demands clothing that matches its magnificence. Even your physical appearance shifts as stress dissolves and vitality floods every cell. The most shocking revelation: You're not just manifesting for yourself anymore. Your elevated state creates a field effect that begins manifesting miracles for everyone in your vicinity. Friends start getting unexpected opportunities after spending time with you. Family members experience breakthroughs they've been seeking for years. Strangers leave conversations with you feeling inexplicably hopeful about their futures. Your relationship with your own energy becomes a precision instrument of creation. You can feel when your frequency dips and immediately know what caused it: a toxic conversation, an environment that doesn't match your vibration, thoughts that belong to your old identity. They all register instantly on your internal energetic monitoring system. More importantly, you've learned to manipulate your frequency at will. Feeling scattered? You know exactly how to center yourself. Experiencing doubt? You have techniques that restore confidence within minutes. Encountering resistance? You can shift your energy to dissolve obstacles before they fully form. This energetic sovereignty means you're no longer at the mercy of other people's moods, circumstances beyond your control, or the collective anxiety that plagues most of humanity. You carry your own weather system, and it's permanently set to brilliant. The people who used to drain your energy discover they can no longer access it without permission. Your boundaries aren't just emotional anymore, they're energetic force fields that automatically repel anything that doesn't serve your highest good. Manipulators find themselves mysteriously unable to hook into your emotions. Energy vampires discover their feeding tubes have been permanently severed. But perhaps most remarkably, you've become a walking transmission station for higher consciousness. People don't just feel better around you, they remember who they really are. Your presence activates dormant DNA, awakens forgotten gifts, and reminds souls of missions they came here to accomplish. Without effort or intention, you've become a catalyst for the planetary awakening. Your sphere of influence expands beyond anything your previous self could have imagined, not through force or manipulation, but through the natural magnetic pull of authentic power. Leaders seek your counsel, creators want to collaborate. Visionaries recognize a kindred spirit who understands the mechanics of reality transformation. The projects you touch turn to gold, not because you're Midas, but because your frequency transmutes everything it encounters. The businesses you're involved with thrive beyond projections. The relationships you nurture become templates for conscious connection. The communities you join evolve into incubators for collective awakening. Your words carry frequencies that unlock potential in whoever hears them. Your social media posts go viral, not because of clever algorithms, but because truth resonates at the cellular level. Your casual conversations plant seeds that bloom into life-changing realizations weeks later. Your very existence becomes a masterclass in what's possible when someone fully embodies their cosmic identity. The resistance you once faced from those threatened by your growth has transformed into something entirely different: reverence. Even your former detractors find themselves secretly studying your moves, trying to decode the source of your seemingly effortless success. They don't understand that what they're witnessing isn't luck or manipulation, it's the natural result of aligning with universal law. Your influence ripples outward in ways you'll never fully comprehend. A decision you make creates opportunities for someone you've never met. A boundary you set inspires another chosen one to claim their power. A stand you take gives others permission to stop compromising their truth. Your transformation has become a permission slip for collective evolution. Time itself bends around your intention now. Deadlines that would stress others feel like gentle suggestions to someone operating from your frequency. Projects that should take months complete themselves in weeks. Healing that typically requires years happens in moments of focused intention. You've learned to work with cosmic timing rather than against it, and this partnership has made you infinitely more effective while requiring significantly less effort. When the universe wants something to happen quickly, it flows like water downhill. When it needs more time to align circumstances, you sense this and adjust accordingly without frustration. Your scheduling becomes almost prophetic. You intuitively know when to push forward and when to wait. You can sense the energetic windows when manifestation is most potent. You've learned to surf the waves of cosmic momentum rather than swimming against invisible currents. This temporal mastery extends to your ability to heal past trauma instantaneously and create future outcomes with laser precision. You understand that linear time is an illusion, and from your expanded perspective, you can influence events across all timelines simultaneously. Past wounds resolve themselves as you rewrite the energetic signature they carried. Future possibilities align themselves with your current frequency. The most profound aspect of this timeline sovereignty is your understanding that everything, every betrayal, every loss, every moment of confusion was perfectly orchestrated to create exactly this moment, not by some external force, but by your own higher consciousness operating from a perspective that transcends individual incarnation. You were always the author of your own story. You just forgot for a while that you were writing it. And now, as we return to where this journey began, everything has changed while staying exactly the same. The training wheels are still coming off, but now you understand they were never really wheels at all. They were the last remnants of limitation that kept you tethered to a reality too small for your true magnitude. Their removal wasn't loss, it was liberation. The people who thought they had you figured out are still watching, but now they're witnessing something they can't explain, can't diminish, and definitely can't stop. Your transformation has become their awakening, whether they want it or not. The energy vampires who thought they could feast on your light forever have discovered something that will haunt their dreams. You were never prey. You were always the predator, just temporarily disguised as food. The hunter playing wounded until the moment was right to reveal your true nature. Your smile still cuts through illusion with the precision of divine truth, but now it carries the added weight of someone who has journeyed to hell and returned with souvenirs. Your presence still fills spaces with authentic power, but now that power is activated, integrated, and absolutely unstoppable. The universe looks at its investment in your development and smiles with satisfaction. Every trial was perfectly calibrated, every challenge was precisely timed. Every seeming setback was actually a setup for something magnificent. You transmuted this pain like a gangster because you are one, a spiritual gangster operating in a reality that thought it could break you. But gangsters don't break, they adapt. They overcome, they take what's theirs and protect what they love with lethal efficiency. The pain was never your enemy, it was your trainer. The struggles were never punishment, they were preparation. The isolation was never abandonment, it was incubation. Everything that seemed designed to destroy you was actually designed to forge you into exactly what you've become. Unbreakable, unstoppable, and absolutely undeniable. What's around the corner for you will make everything you've survived seem like a warm-up for the main event. The universe has been preparing the stage, assembling the cast, and writing the script for a performance that will leave reality itself standing in ovation. The training wheels are gone forever, chosen one. But what you have now is infinitely better, wings forged in the fire of your own resurrection, strong enough to carry not just you, but everyone, brave enough to fly alongside you into the impossible made manifest, and that transformation, that absolute metamorphosis from someone seeking approval to someone generating it, from someone accepting scraps to someone creating abundance, from someone hiding their light to someone whose brilliance literally illuminates the path for others. That is exactly what the universe knew you were capable of all along. The gangster has emerged, the chosen one is fully activated, and the world will never be the same.